50 Rules for Life. 1. Focus on what you control. Epictetus. 2. You control how you respond to what happens. You don't control what happens. Epictetus. 3. Ask yourself, is this essential? Marcus Aurelius. 4. Meditate on your mortality. Marcus Aurelius. 5. You value time more than money and possessions. Seneca. 6. You are a product of your habits. Epictetus. 7. You have the power to have no opinion. If you didn't know it existed, you don't need to have an opinion. Epictetus. 8. Own the morning. Have a good day. Have a good morning. Have a good life. Have a good day. Marcus Aurelius. 9. Put the day up for review. Seneca. 10. Don't suffer imagined troubles. Seneca. 11. Try to see the good in people. Marcus Aurelius. 12. Never be overheard complaining, even to yourself. Complaints are for losers, they solve nothing. Marcus Aurelius. 13. 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. Zeno. Listen more than you talk. 14. There is always something you can do, some progress. Zeno. 15. Don't compare yourself with others. Aurelius. Focus on something you can't control. 16. Live as if you have died and come back to life. Seneca. 17. The best revenge is not to be like that. Aurelius. 18. Be strict with yourself and lenient with others. Self-discipline. 19. Put every impression to the test. Initial reaction and impressions. Test them. 20. Learn something from everyone. Emerson. 21. Focus on process, not the outcomes. Effort and process is something you can control. Outcome is external. 22. Define what success means to you. Do not care about external opinions more than your own. 23. Find a way to love everything that happens. Amor fati. Embrace it. Everything thrown on a fire becomes fuel. 24. Seek out challenges. 25. Don't follow the mob. Think for yourself. 26. Grab the smooth handle. Epictetus. Choose the response that empowers you than makes you. 27. Happy. Not the one that makes you angry. 8. Every person, situation is an opportunity for kindness. Never pass up an opportunity. Say no, a lot. Marcus Aurelius. Is this essential? 29. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Marcus Aurelius. Get a comrade to help you. So what? Asking for help is refusing to give up. 30. Finding one thing every day. To be wise. One thing at a time. 31. What's bad for the hive is bad for the bee. Marcus Aurelius. 32. Don't judge other people. Seneca. Scrubbing off your flaws. Leave other people to their own mistakes. 33. Study the lives of the greats. Seneca. 34. Forgive, forgive, forgive. A gift you give to yourself. Let go. 35. Make a little progress each day. Zeno. 36. Journal, meditations, conversation with himself. 37. Prepare for life's inevitable setbacks. Seneca. Be ready. Don't worry. 38. Look for the poetry in ordinary things. Observations. Beauty in the mundane. 39. To do wrong to one is to do wrong to yourself. We are all connected. 40. Always choose a live time. Live this moment or waste time. Every moment must matter. 41. Associate only with people that make you better. You become like your friends. 42. If someone offends you, realize you are complicit in taking offense. How you respond. 43. Fate behaves as she pleases. Understand it is not in your control. 44. Possessions are yours only in trust. You can only lose what you have. Attachments. 45. Don't make your problems worse by bemoaning them. Do not make yourself a hindrance to yourself. It poisons the room and atmosphere. 46. Accept success without arrogance. Handle failure with indifference. None of them change who you are. Be resilient, strong, and humble in failure and success. Be the even keel. 47. Courage, temperance, justice, wisdom. 4. Virtues of Stoicism. No situation that does not demand these virtues. 48. The obstacle is the way. There is always something you can do. Grow and learn from it. Open an opportunity. 49. Ego is the enemy. Arrogance always makes things worse. Be willing to learn. Don't be above or below anyone or anything. 50. Stillness is the key. The secret to charging ahead is slowing down. Focus and see things clearly. Marcus Aurelius is one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and one of the most powerful people in the world while he was alive. He was the emperor of ancient Rome and would often write down his thoughts in his now famous journal we now call Meditations. This is one of my favorite books of all time and an interesting look into the mind of Marcus. His journal was never meant to be published, so what you see here is pure honesty that ended up including some of the greatest Stoic quotes. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. How ridiculous and how strange to be surprised at anything which happens in life. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. But do so with all your heart. Confine yourself to the present. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Stoic. You can commit injustice by doing nothing. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Each day provides its own gifts. Give yourself a gift, the present moment. The only wealth which you will keep forever is the wealth you have given away. Have I been made for this? To lie under the blankets and keep myself warm? Conceal a flaw, and the world will imagine the worst. Life is neither good or evil, but only a place for good and evil. Stoic. I cannot escape death, but at least I can escape the fear of it. How trivial the things we want so passionately are. Settle on the type of person you want to be and stick to it, whether alone or in company. Consider at what price you sell your integrity, but please, for God's sake, don't sell it cheap. Seneca, 4 BC AD 65, was another prominent Stoic philosopher in Rome, as had a unique position as the advisor to newly appointed Emperor Nero in 54. His book called Letters from a Stoic is one of my favorite books on Stoicism and is full of wisdom and lessons about morality. Stoic. This book is another great source for Stoic wisdom quotes. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Ignorance is the cause of fear. While we wait for life, life passes. Life is long, if you know how to use it. Hurry up and live. Cease to hope and you will cease to fear. Wealth is the slave of a wise man and the master of a fool. Only time can heal what reason cannot. Stoic. While we are postponing, life speeds by. Life, if well lived, is long enough. Hang on to your youthful enthusiasms. You will be able to use them better when you are older. He who is brave is free. It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. It is more civilized to make fun of life than to bewail it. Difficulty comes from our lack of confidence. Stoic. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. What really ruins our character is the fact that none of us looks back over his life. Religion is regarded by the common people as true, by the wise as false, and by rulers as useful. It does not matter how many books you have, but how good are the books which you have. When a person spends all his time in foreign travel, he ends by having many acquaintances, but no friends. For many men, the acquisition of wealth does not end their troubles, it only changes them. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Epictetus, AD 50-135, was born a slave and lived in Rome until his banishment. His teachings were documented and published by one of his students named Arrian in 2 books, Discourses and Enquiry. Stoic. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. No man is free who is not master of himself. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. It is difficulties that show what men are. Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. No great thing is created suddenly. Stoic, know, first, who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. It is the nature of the wise to resist pleasures, but the foolish to be a slave to them. First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. If you want something good, get it yourself. Musonius Rufus was a Stoic philosopher in Rome around the 1st century AD. He is most famous for being the primary teacher for Epictetus, as well as being another Stoic philosopher that was exiled from Rome by the Emperor Nero in 65 AD. Stoic. We begin to lose our hesitation to do immoral things when we lose our hesitation to speak of them. Humanity must seek what is not simple and obvious using the simple and obvious. Since every man dies, it is better to die with distinction than to live long. Only by exhibiting actions in harmony with the sound words which he has received will anyone be helped by philosophy. Thus, whoever destroys human marriage destroys the home, the city, the whole human race. Diogenes quotes. Diogenes 300 AD was mostly known as a biographer for some of the more famous philosophers outlined above, and much of his life remains a mystery. He had a controversial reputation among scholars for repeating things and perhaps focusing on the wrong part of certain teachings, but since he wasn't reinterpreting those teachings, his accounts are some of the most reliable we have. He with the most, who is content with the least. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. Blushing is the color of virtue. Dogs and philosophers do the greatest good and get the fewest rewards. I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world. The mob is the mother of tyrants. Poverty is a virtue which one can teach oneself. 1. If you happen to find yourself in a crowd, call it the games, a festival or a celebration. Try to share the festival with the world. After all, what is more pleasing to a lover of humankind than the sight of many people? Epictetus D4. 2. Nature had the impulse to create an orderly world, remember this, and you will face many things more calmly. Marcus Aurelius, M775. 3. It is best to reject straight away the first inducements to anger, to resist it from the very beginning. Seneca, A128. 4. We take pleasure in seeing herds of cows and horses. We take delight in watching a fleet of ships. Why then hate the sight of a group of humans? Epictetus D4, 4. 5. Forget how you look to others. Be content to live the rest of your life as decided by nature. Marcus Aurelius, M8, 1. 6. Once anger starts carrying us away, it is hard to get back again into a healthy condition. Seneca, A1, 8. 7. Who can stop you from using desire and aversion, choice and refusal according to nature? No noise, no shouting is loud enough to do that. Epictetus D4, 4. 8. Nothing is good unless it helps you to become just, self-disciplined, courageous, and independent. Nothing is bad, except what does the opposite. Marcus Aurelius, M8.1. 9. No, the anger must be met as far away as possible and driven back. Once it enters the city through its gates, it will not allow its prisoners to set bounds to its victory. Seneca, A1.8. 10. Do I have to go to Rome? I go to Rome. To Gyara? I go to Gyara. To Athens? I go to Athens. To prison? I go to prison. Epictetus D4, 4. 11. Soon you will be dead and forgotten. Meanwhile, if what you do is fit for a rational and social being, why worry about anything else? Marcus Aurelius, M8, 2. 12. Passion and reason, as I said before, don't have distinct provinces. Rather, the mind itself changes for better or for worse. Seneca, A1.8. 13. Having a peaceful and undisturbed mind, dependent on only yourself. Epictetus, D4, 4. 14. You may break your heart, but people will continue to do what they do. Marcus Aurelius, M8, 4. 15. Anger sometimes overthrows and breaks to pieces whatever it meets, yet more often it causes its own destruction. Seneca, A1, 11. 16. It is the proper time. Let go of all your dislikes. Why are you like a donkey enduring the burden? Epictetus D4:4. 17. The first rule, be untroubled. Nature controls everything, and soon you will vanish into nothingness. Marcus Aurelius, M8.5. 18. Anger has no use. It does not stir the mind to brave actions. Seneca, A1.9. 19. There is only one way to be happy. Keep this thought ready for use morning, noon, and night. Give up the desire for things not under your control. Don't think of anything as your own. Epictetus D4:4. 20. Fix your eyes on what you have to do. Remember, you must be a good human being. Do what nature demands of you without hesitation. Speak what is just as you see it, but do so with courtesy, modesty, and sincerity. Marcus Aurelius, M8.5. 21. If anger listens to reason and follows its leads, it is no longer anger because anger is stubborn. Seneca, A1.9. 22. Concern yourself with only one thing. What is your own and what is free from restrictions? When you read about this, write about this, listen about this. Epictetus D4:4. 23. Everywhere there is change, yet we need to fear nothing. All things, including the way they are arranged, are familiar to us. Marcus Aurelius, M8.6. 24. Passions don't know how to obey or how to command. Seneca, A1.9. 25. You should never praise or blame a man for an action that may be good or bad, but for the reasons for his action, his judgment about it. Judgments are unique to each individual, and they are what make one's action good or bad. Epictetus D4:4. 26. A rational nature goes well when there is no acceptance of misleading or false impressions. There is no impulse towards unsocial actions. All desires and rejections are confined to what lies within its power, and there is welcome acceptance of whatever nature demands of us. Marcus Aurelius, M8.7. 27. If reason can do nothing without passion, then reason loses its power. Seneca, A1.10. 28. Be happy for what you have. Be satisfied with what each moment brings. Epictetus D4:4. 29. What nature demands of us is truly a part of her, as a leaf, as nature, is a part of a plant's. Marcus Aurelius, M8.7. 30. What is the use of anger if we can achieve the same result through the use of reason? Seneca, A1.11. 31. If any of these things you studied and learned prove useful to you in your actions, be joyful.